I'm working in St. Peter's Engineering College, taking classes for first year students. Today we are going to discuss about Unit 5, Environment Policy, Legislation and EAA, third part. According to the PTEC syllabus, an overview of three rules will be discussed today in today's class. First one, Municipal Solid Waste Management and Handling Rule. Second one, Biomedical Waste Management and Handling Rule. Third one, Hazardous Waste Management and Handling Rule. First, Municipal Solid Waste Management and Handling Rule. Municipal Solid Waste Rule came into force in the year 2000 from September. The Municipal Solid Waste Rule 2000 shall apply to every municipal authority responsible for collection, segregation, storage, transportation, processing and disposal of municipal solid waste. India is the third largest producer of waste, specifically municipal solid waste, in the world, generating around 1,09,589 tons of waste per day. The growing waste is impacting environment. It shows impact on air, it shows impact on groundwater and also on soil degradation. So we need proactive approach to create waste management infrastructure for scientific management of waste. Waste segregation is the basic key to waste management. The various components of municipal solid waste are recyclable waste, that is paper, plastic, glass, metal, etc., which is found in the municipal solid waste can be recycled. They come up to around 20% of municipal solid waste. Next, organic waste. Organic waste can be degradable. It comes around 50%. Inerts. That means just the waste has to be thrown in the landfill area. It comes around 30%. Dead organic matter decays in the presence of oxygen, that means aerobic degradation, and also in absence of oxygen, anaerobic degradation causing damage to environment. So the organic matter is processed and stabilized. It can be better converted into compost, vermicompost, biogas, and other fuels. The salient features of municipal solid waste rule. Municipal authorities are responsible for all aspects of municipal waste management. The municipal authority shall comply with these rules as per the implementation schedule laid down in Schedule 1. The municipal authorities to manage municipal solid waste per the criteria specified under Schedule 2 of the rules. The waste processing disposal set up by the municipal authority on their own or through an operator of a facility shall meet the specifications and standards as specified in Schedule 3 and 4. The responsibilities of municipal authority. Municipal solid waste rules fix certain responsibilities for municipal authorities and state governments and union territory administrations as well as Central Pollution Control Board and the state boards or the committees in infrastructure development, in setting up landfill areas and other waste processing and disposal facilities, monitoring and ensuring eco-friendly compliance and submitting annual reports. Responsibility of the state government and the union territory administrations are the secretary in charge of the Department of Urban Development of the concerned state or the union territory shall have the overall responsibility for the enforcement of the provisions of these rules in the metropolitan cities. Coming to the responsibilities of the central and state pollution control boards. The state board or the committee shall monitor the compliance of the standards regarding groundwater and the ambient air quality and leachate quality near the landfill area and the compost quality including incineration standards as specified under Schedule 2, Schedule 3 and Schedule 4. The State Board or the committee shall examine the proposal and grant authorization for setting up of waste processing and disposal facility. Coming to the Central Pollution Control Board, Central Pollution Control Board will coordinate with all the state boards and the committees with particular reference to implementation and review of standards and the guidelines prescribed by the CPCB and compilation of all the monitoring data is done by Central Pollution Control Board. Management of municipal solid waste. It is done in various steps. The very first step is collection of municipal solid waste. Littering of municipal solid waste shall be prohibited in cities, towns and in urban areas notified by the state governments. Municipal solid waste is collected from households and establishments and transported to the site for processing and disposal. Second step, segregation of municipal solid waste. In order to encourage the citizens, municipal authority shall organize awareness programs for segregation of wastes and shall promote recycling or reuse of segregated materials. Third step, storage of municipal solid waste. Municipal authorities shall establish and maintain storage facilities in such a manner as they do not create unhygienic and insanitary conditions around it. The fourth step is transportation of municipal solid waste. Vehicles used for transportation of waste shall be covered. Waste should not be visible to the public. If they are transported on the roads, when the public are moving, it is totally covered, no leakage from that vehicle, no rusting is identified in that vehicle, and properly painted vehicle they have to use, and it is not visible nor exposed to the open environment, preventing their scattering. All these should be taken care by the municipal authorities. So segregation of municipal solid waste will be done in the source itself, that means in the house itself. Green organic, that means organic waste can be thrown in the green bin, and whatever is recyclable plastic, paper can be thrown in the blue, and which used to throw in the landfill area can be reduced by segregating it in various forms. Using machines, we can segregate the municipal solid waste. Fifth step, processing of municipal solid waste. Municipal authorities shall adopt suitable technology or combination to make use of waste so as to minimize burden on landfill area. Municipal solid waste in 2000 rule, processing and composting is done. Vermicomposting, using earthworms, we can convert biodegradable waste into vermicompost, and biodegradable waste can be used to generate methane gas by the process of biomethanation, where the degradation is done in absence of oxygen, that is called anaerobic digestion. And next, incineration to produce energy. Waste to energy, we are hearing in these days. Incineration is by burning we can generate energy. All end products generated to conform to the standards in Schedule 4. Last one, disposal of municipal solid waste. Landfill area shall be restricted to non-biodegradable inert waste and other waste that are not suitable either for recycling or for biological processing. Here in this picture you can see the biomethanation plants, various biomethanation plants where the methane gas is generated from biodegradable waste. Coming to the next rule, biomedical waste management and handling rule. The Ministry of Environment and Forestry, Government of India has prescribed rules for biomedical waste management under the Environment Protection Act 1986. According to the Biomedical Waste Rule 1998 of India, biomedical waste means any waste which is generated during the diagnosis of any disease or during the treatment or immunization of human beings or animals or in research activities pertaining thereto or in the production or testing of biomedicals. All these areas and all during all these processes, whatever is generated, that can be considered as biomedical waste. These rules control the indiscriminate disposal of hospital waste or biomedical waste and apply to all persons who generate, collect, who receive, who stores, who transports, who treats or dispose or handle biomedical waste in any form. In this rule, an occupier has been defined as a person who has control over that institution or its premises. Duty of the occupier is to take all steps to ensure that such waste is handled without any adverse effect to human health and the environment. Occupiers set up adequate treatment facilities like autoclave. Here you can see the picture of autoclave, microwave, incinerator, it is nothing but burning till the ash are formed, hydroclave, where the liquid waste are disinfected here, shredder, prior to commencement of its operation or ensure that the wastes are treated at a common biomedical waste treatment facility or an authorized waste treatment facility. 5 schedules of this rule includes Schedule 1 describes 10 categories of waste and prescribes the treatment and disposal options for each as follows. Under this Schedule 1, first category means human anatomical waste. It has to be incinerated or deep buried in the soil. Anatomical means we all know cells or tissues from the human. Animal waste, second category comes under animal waste. This also has to be incinerated or deep buried. Next, third category, microbiology and biotechnology waste. This can be autoclaved or microwaved or burnt till the ashes are formed. That is incineration. Fourth category, waste sharps. Sharp means scalpels, forceps, all these things. This can be disinfected by chemical treatment using some chemicals, or they can be autoclaved or microwaved and conciliation or shredding. Next, fifth category will be discarded medicines and cytotoxic drugs. Sixth category, soiled waste, which is contaminated with blood or body fluids. Seventh category, solid waste. Eighth, chemical liquid waste. Ninth, incineration ash. When we are burning here any waste, the ash which is generated is considered as ninth category. 10th one, chemical waste. Schedule 2 will provide a color coding for segregation, collection and treatment options for different waste. That is what the 10 categories what we have discussed in Schedule 1. In what type of color it has to be segregated, in what type of colored cover it has to be placed, it is mentioned in the Schedule 2. Here we can see different types of bins or plastic covers where they are used to segregate this waste. Cytotoxic drugs and chemical waste are thrown in the black one. Soiled waste, infected dressings and other things are thrown in the red one. Anatomical waste are thrown in the yellow. Here syringes, gloves, plastic, all these are thrown in the blue. Needles or cut glasses or sharps are thrown in the white. So all these are different colored containers where we have to segregate the biomedical waste and to discard. Schedule 3 prescribes for labels to be put on biomedical waste container bags. These are the few labels where we are using. Biohazard waste is indicated in this manner. Cytotoxic hazard symbol is indicated. Radiation hazard symbol is indicated. And Schedule 4 for labels for transport of biomedical waste container bags. Schedule 5 is of particular importance as it prescribes standards for treatment and disposal of biomedical waste, including operational and emission standards for incinerators, standards for autoclaving, standards for liquid waste, standard for microwaving and deep burial. Vehicles transporting biomedical waste have also to be authorized for the purpose by the competent authority as prescribed by the government. No untreated biomedical waste shall be kept stored beyond a period of 48 hours. However, if for any reason, if an occupier has to store, it becomes necessary to store the waste, beyond such period, he has to take the prior permission from the prescribed authority. Must be taken done with steps to ensure that the waste does not adversely affect any human health and the environment. If at all he has to store the waste beyond the 48 hours. The State Pollution Control Board have been designated as the prescribed authority for grant and renewal of applications under this rule. Third rule, Hazardous Waste Management and Handling Rule 2008. Hazardous waste in India is defined as any substance, excluding domestic and radioactive waste, which because of its quantity or corrosive or reactive or ignitable, toxic and infectious characteristics causes significant hazards to human health or environment when improperly treated, stored or transported and disposed. The study estimates that nearly 74.6 lakh tons of hazardous waste is generated in India annually. Of this waste, which can be disposed in landfills, constitute about 34.1 lakh tons. It comes to 46% of the total waste, and recyclable hazardous waste consists of 33.5 lakh tons, or it comes up to 45% of the total hazardous waste. Handling of hazardous waste. It shall be the responsibility of the occupier to handle such waste in safe and environmentally sound manner. Recycle or reprocessing or reuse as per rules and treating the waste and storing it or dispose of such waste as per the rules. Hazardous waste can be stored by recycler or operator for a period not exceeding 90 days. What are the strategies followed for hazardous waste management? First one, waste minimization. Second one, detoxification or neutralization of the waste by treating the hazardous waste. Destruction of combustible waste by incineration. If it is possible for us to burn it till the ashes are formed, we will follow incineration process. Next, solidification of sludge or ash from step that is here from detoxification and incineration. Disposal of residues in landfill area. Hazard pictograms and a new CLP means CLP stands for classification, labeling and packaging. New things. Explosive will be indicated in this form. Inflammable liquids are indicated in this form. Oxidizing liquids, corrosive to metals and skin is indicated in this symbol. Acute toxicity, if it is so toxic, it is indicated in this symbol. Flammable liquids is indicated with this symbol. If any chemical has long-term effect on health, it is indicated in this symbol. Gas, if it is under pressure, it is indicated with this symbol. So all these are various symbols used on the hazardous chemicals. Export and import of hazardous waste. The Ministry of Environment and Forest shall be the nodal ministry to deal with the transboundary movement. That is, transboundary means export and import of hazardous waste. No import of hazardous waste from any country to India shall be permitted for disposal. Import from any country shall be permitted only for recycling, recovery, or reuse. Procedure for export and import of hazardous waste are outlined in rules. A manifest system is, is followed for the movement of the chemicals in the country. So that manifest system is the movement document of hazardous waste to be used within a country. In these 6 copies of definite colors are used, which are signed by the transporter, and no transporter will accept this hazardous waste from an occupier unless it contains these manifest system copies. Schedule 1 of this hazardous waste management rule includes list of various processes generating hazardous waste. In the Schedule 2 provides a list of hazardous chemicals along with their concentration limits. And Schedule 3, based on the Basel Convention on transboundary movement of hazardous waste. A list of hazardous waste is included in Part A, which can be imported with prior information, and in Part B, the chemicals which can be imported or exported without any prior information. In Schedule 4, it includes a list of hazardous waste requiring registration for recycling or reprocessing. Schedule 5 of hazardous waste management includes maximum permissible limits of various parameters of used oil suitable for reprocessing and that of fuel derived from waste oil. Schedule 6 provides a list of the hazardous waste prohibited for import or export. Treating hazardous waste by chemical, thermal, biological, and physical methods. The hazardous waste can be treated by various following methods. If you see, first chemical methods include ion exchange process, precipitation, oxidation, reduction, and neutralization. These are the methods used for treating the hazardous waste. Next, thermal. Among thermal methods is high temperature incineration, burning it. If you can burn the hazardous waste, then this method can be chosen. Till the ashes are formed, they are burned. Then biological treatment of certain organic waste. That means using some microbes, we can treat that hazardous waste, such as those from the petroleum industry. And one method used here, using some microbes, we can treat the hazardous waste. Then microbes can also be used for stabilizing hazardous waste and previously contaminated sites. And in that case, the process is called bioremediation. Amendment of the hazardous waste rule. In order to strengthen the implementation of environmentally sound management of hazardous waste in the country, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has amended the hazardous and other waste in 2016, and some of the salient features are: solid plastic waste has been prohibited from import into the country. Next, exporters of silk waste have now been given exemption from requiring permission from the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Third one, electrical and electronic assemblies and components manufactured in and exported from India, if they found are defective, can now be imported. When it is after exporting, if it is found defective, we can now be imported back into the country within a year. Within a year, without obtaining permission from the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Climate Change. These are the 3 rules overview that we have discussed today. Thank you.